What's going on everyone, this is Gaurav and welcome to my learning channel. So in today's video, we'll take a look at basic rules of probability. Rule number 1, probability is a number between 0 to 1. Now, this is fairly self-explanatory. So if an event is very likely to happen, then the probability will be very close to 1. And if the event is not likely to happen, then probability will be close to 0. Rule number 2, the sum of probability for all of the set of all the outcomes must be 1. So let's take a look at an example with a coin toss. So in a coin toss, you could either get a heads or a tails. Now probability for getting a heads for a fair coin toss will be 1 upon 2 and probability for getting a tails will be again 1 upon 2. So sum of the probability for all of the event will be sum of probability for heads and probability for tails, which will be 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2. So that comes out to be 1. Rule number 3, probability of an event happening is equal to 1 minus probability of that event not happening. Now you might be thinking that this is very self-explanatory. Why do we even need this rule? So as you move forward, you will actually see that there might be a lot of interview question where the probability of a particular event happening, that calculation is fairly complicated. So the easiest hack is to just use this formula. So you sum up all of the event which is not that particular event, and you take a look at that probability, and then you just apply this formula, which is 1 minus probability of that event not happening. And with that, you will be able to arrive at probability of a particular event happening. So taking a look at your coin toss example, probability of heads equal to 1 minus probability of not getting a heads, which will be 1 minus 1 upon 2, which is 1 upon 2. Rule number 4, if A and B are independent events. Now, if you're wondering what are independent events, I would request you to pause this video, go back to the video where I have explained independent and dependent event and mutually exclusive events. Take a look at that. That will give you a very good idea about these events. Once you're through that, then let's come back to this video. So coming back to the formula, probability of A intersection B, which means probability of both A and B happening at the same time, is equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B. Rule number 5, for any of the two events A and B, probability of A union B, which is probability of either A or B happening, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B, which is probability of both A and B happening at the same time. So let's try to understand this with a simple Venn diagram. So in this event space, you have two events, which is A and B. Now probability of A union B would mean that you want to cover this entire area, which is covered by A and B, will be equal to probability of A, which is this A, and probability of B, which is this B, minus probability of A intersection B, which is this area. So the reason why you want to subtract this is because once you sum up probability of A plus B, you will be counting this shaded area twice. So you don't want to do that. You want to count that only once. And that's why probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now, rule number 6 is a simple extension of rule number 5 itself. It is only for mutually exclusive events. Now, if you're wondering what are mutually exclusive events, I would again request you to pause this video, go back one video and take a look at what are mutually exclusive events and what are the associated formula. So for mutually exclusive events, probability of A union B will be equal to probability of A plus probability of B, because probability of A intersection B becomes 0 because there is no commonality between event A and event B. So that's about it for all of the basic rules of probability. Hopefully this content was useful for you, and if so, I would request you to like and subscribe.